Hi guys, so I want to touch on a topic which is quite pertinent when you look at today's weather. It's miserable, it's not stopped raining, it's dark, it's October, the nights are dark, the days are dark, the mornings are dark, and it's Christmas in 10 weeks time from the time I'm doing this. So what do you think one of the most common issues I'm talking about at this time of year is? Correct, depression. Depression is seasonal. Depression is, well, doesn't have to be, it can be all year round. Depression is caused by different things as well. So is there one answer to depression from a nutritional, herbal approach? I don't think there is. I think it's about finding what's right for you. So if I talk about a few things that I would look at with depression, there's quite a few. So there's quite a few things there you may have tried, and there's a few things you may not have tried. I have my favourites because they tend to work for more people. But if I was to look at depression, I'd start at the very, very basics. Depression can be affected by a magnesium deficiency. Surprising, isn't it? I thought you were going to say St. John's Wort mark or Rhodiola or CBD oil or yeah, they all have a part to play. But sometimes deficiencies in the body is the best approach. When I used to go and do sort of training around the country in different health stores and therapy centres and stuff, I might want to talk about, let's say, in an hour and a half, 2 hour slot, I might talk about 6 or 7 different really cool products to a bunch of therapists or professional health store staff. And at the end of my little training session, I guarantee everyone in there would want to buy 6 of the products, whatever we talked about, because they sort of sound amazing. And I'd always have to say, look, this is for your knowledge. This whole point is for your knowledge. You do not need these products unless you have ailments or problems with your health. None of you guys have, so don't buy them. And this is what you try and get across, because I'm going to talk about a few products to you. Magnesium is one of the most abundant minerals in the human body. It's incredible for helping with muscle. So it's part of the heart, so cardiovascular health, anxiety, blood pressure, energy, depression. A couple of telltale signs with a magnesium deficiency. And it is a rule of thumb. It's just a nice introductory way of thinking this might be you. So a lot of people with magnesium deficiencies, but this can also be calcium and iron. So don't take it as like set in stone. But a lot of people with magnesium deficiencies, and that is getting higher and higher and higher as a number of people. The way we are just over farming, there's hardly any magnesium left in a lot of soils. I think the last study I read was 55% less magnesium in our vegetables than there was 10 years ago. That's a lot. So we're not getting the magnesium from our diets. And magnesium is key for things like energy, anxiety, sleep, mood, restless legs. With the magnesium deficiency, people tend to have restless legs, really tired in the afternoon, particularly it's 1:30 now, so about 2-3 o'clock, you just hit a kind of wall. You're dropping off in the chair in front of the TV or whatever at night. Then you go to sleep and you're out. You go to sleep fine, but then you wake up, boom, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, you can't get back to sleep. That potentially could be a magnesium deficiency. The other things that it can lead to is irritability, fogginess, brain fogginess. So maybe it's not thinking straight, or you go into a room and you're quite forgetful. Definitely lethargy and fatigue, and sometimes cramps and headaches. So just be aware, magnesium has a big part to play in quite a lot that goes on in the body, but particularly with our mood, our energy, our sleep, and potentially depression. Other basics I would look at would be a B complex or a multivitamin that's high in B complexes. But I tend to go with a B complex first. If there's any deficiencies, again, we're using that word deficiencies. Deficiencies often cause issues, so it's quite important. If there's any deficiencies in your B complexes, or your B vitamins, that can actually have an issue with your balance in your brain chemicals. And if there's an upset balance in brain chemicals, it's a little bit how CBD works. It restores the posh name's homeostasis of the brain. or the body. It brings the body back into balance. Well, sometimes if you're deficient in Bs, it's all well bringing the body back into balance, but sooner or later you're going to go out of balance again because you aren't giving the body what it's deficient in. So sometimes it's good to take a little step back and go, okay, let's look at this. B vitamins convert carbohydrates into energy or glycogen, which is our fuel. So often, again, people with B vitamins, their deficiencies, very tired, very low mood, don't really want to do much, become a little bit of a lackluster, and often can have sleeping issues. There's no GABA, there's no serotonin, so there's really cool things not happening in the body that should be. So a B complex will certainly help with fatigue, with energy, with mood, with stress. The B vitamins, just call them stress vitamins. The B vitamin family all will have a good positive impact on stress in life. Let's face it, everyone's stressed at the minute. So that would be a good add-in. Something you could take daily, 100%. They're water soluble, you're not going to build up. To me, I love going between the Viridian, fantastic, particularly a high 5B complex, or the Terra Nova one. Both of them are absolutely brilliant. The Terra Nova one's fully methylated, so really great absorption as well. Then I would look at a good quality fish oil. Mentioned a company called Viridian. They do one of the most outstanding fish oils and value for money fish oils that works out about £7 a month, and it's worth every penny. You've got great levels of EPA, great levels of DHA, fantastic sustainably sourced fish from Scandinavian rainbow trout. You'll find it hard to get any better than that. So the Viridian fish oil complex has a lot to do with cognitive function. So there's your basics. Then what would you look at? If you've covered all those basics, okay, well, it's good you've covered those basics because you're going to have other positive health benefits. But you might be in one of these places where you think, you know what, I can't get out of this. I'm so low every day. Everything's negative. Everything triggers me. I'm snapping at my partner or the children or whatever it is. I'm kicking the dog every time I pass it. That kind of scenario, then maybe you need something that's a bit more medicinal. I would then look at a few potential alternatives. One of my favourite go-to herbs, and I've just bought one today because of the weather, and I use it every year, and I'm not embarrassed to say so. Oh, I struggle with the dark nights and stuff. You know, I have a convertible car and a motorbike. Says a lot about me. I like to be out in the fresh air, and in this weather, so I go to a herb called Rhodiola Rosea. I love this herb so much, I've actually brought one out under my own label because of its percentage of rosavins, one of the key active ingredients in it. It's a 3% rosavin content, which is mental when you look at it's a 450 milligram herbal strength. So I love this rhodiola. I'm so passionate about it because it has changed so many people's lives, particularly from a mental health point of view, over the past 20 years that I've been aware or working with rhodiola. I'm a massive fan of it. I'm convinced, I tell this story a lot, my wife married me because of rhodiola, because I sorted her moods out. It wasn't because of these looks, I guarantee you that. I am punching with her. So rhodiola, the way it works in simple terms is we have lots of chemicals going on in the body, okay? One of the key ones which actually gives us a good end result is something called serotonin. Serotonin is really important for our mood and our sleep. Serotonin is a key, feel good, let's call it a happy chemical. Rhodiola will increase serotonin production by about 30% in the brain. But that's not the end of it. The serotonin then needs to get through this barrier in the brain called a blood-brain barrier. It allows the serotonin to increase its pathway through this blood-brain barrier by about 60%. So 60% more in some trials. This was due to it inhibiting a chemical called COMT. Ain't even going to try because it's a real long word. But COMT production in the body, due to this unbalance in the body, this lack of homeostasis, you're getting it, aren't you? All comes together. That can cause mild and unfortunately in some cases severe depression. So what rhodiola does is it stops this nasty COMT from being produced in the brain, and it increases serotonin production in the brain, allowing more serotonin to where it needs to work. It's kind of cool. It makes your body more efficient at producing the happy chemicals. Now, how long is it going to work? It's a question I get. So with your vitamins and your fish oil and your magnesium, give it a couple of weeks, give it 3 or 4 weeks, let it get into your system. It's about readdressing imbalances. That doesn't happen overnight. These imbalances could have taken years. Suddenly you pop a magnesium pill and it hasn't worked and you go, it's rubbish. It just, oof. So be logical about it. Give it 4, 5, 6 weeks to get into your system. With the magnesium, to be fair, often many people notice the difference within a week or two, but give it that time. Get it into your system every day and take magnesium on an evening. Other stuff you can take in the morning or whenever you want. Magnesium evening meal. Little tip there. Rhodiola, first thing in the morning. It'll help you sleep. Often a lot of people dream better on rhodiola. They go into a deeper sleep. It's called REM, rapid eye movement, where your subconscious is kind of drifting off into dream state so your body can repair itself. So with rhodiola, you often wake up more energized and happier in the mood in the morning. I'm the grumpiest bugger you'll ever meet in the morning, so my wife loves me going on rhodiola this time of year because I'm actually quite pleasant in the mornings. Other things you could try, St. John's Wort has been around for a long time. I think it's one of the most prescribed antidepressant products in Germany, or it certainly was a few years ago, and that was quite impressive for me, quite interesting. It won't work for everyone, but it will work for a lot of people. And this is unfortunately where you've got to sort of trial products yourselves a little some of the time. Don't get despondent if you've tried something and it hasn't worked. Definitely get despondent if you've tried something from one of the rubbish shops that have cost you $1.99 for 5 years worth of, do you know what I mean? So if it's I'll watch me words because you don't know these days, people sue you left, right, centre. If it's a big chain, own brand, tend to leave it. If it's an independent health food store, you're in the right place. Keep saying it, but it's so true. Wherever you are in the world, no matter the country in the world, seek out an independent health food store. You will not go wrong. You will not go wrong. So, and I don't mean the chained stores, I mean the independent ones, the family-run ones. 5-hydroxy tryptophan, 5-HTP is a really good product where you've kind of just, you've lost it, you've just given up. Try 5-HTP if you're that bad. But don't try any of these things unless, if you're on medication from the doctor, seek GP or a pharmacist's help and consultation and guidance. Because the stuff I'm talking about in terms of rhodiola and St. John's Wort are very, very, very powerful. One of the most underrated ones for mild anxiety, depression, and severe depression is something called theanine and lemon balm. And theanine and lemon balm, I'm looking at the research on that recently, and it's been on my shelves there for a couple of years, and I've forgotten or didn't realise how amazing that product potentially can be. So anyone that could get a lot of anxiety and things like that, if the depression isn't the issue, but the anxiety is, then theanine and lemon balm definitely, or Avena sativa is another one to definitely look at. Right, I've rabbited on enough there. I do apologise. I tend to keep it more under 10 minutes, but depression is such a major, major issue. A lot of people are suffering with it. In store, I say I'm talking at the minute, through the pandemic hasn't helped, so that's probably 18 out of 20 people at the minute I'm talking to. It's usually about mood of some sort, some imbalance that we need to get onto. But it is out there. There is help. There's some great groups out there that can give you sort of physical support in terms of, getting together with like-minded people. There's some great barbershop people doing stuff. A lot of people are called swimming, particularly down, obviously here we're on the coast. So find out a group as well. There are these groups, these help groups out there for mood, mental health, and ways of combating depression. Another great one for me personally is exercise. So I drag myself out of bed every morning at 5:30 to 6 o'clock to go to the gym in the week, and the difference it makes is dramatic. I mix that with my rhodiola and I'm a happy bunny. So don't despond too much. There is help out there. You know where we are at the little supplement company. Just drop us a text if you don't want to come in. We're really, really nice guys if you do come in. We actually care about our customers. There's nothing we haven't heard about health-wise, trust me. There really isn't. So we talk about any and every health problem you could ever imagine. So you're in safe hands with us at the Little Supplement Company. Do check out our video library on YouTube. I try and talk about as many topics and as many products as we deal with in the shop. So it's quite a library there that you can refer friends to who are struggling, or just if you have an interest in nutrition, supplements and health issues. You know, it's a nice little library there from my 30 odd years experience in this, and just sharing some nuggets of information with people. Guys, stay safe, keep positive, and I will look forward to speaking to you soon. If you're on YouTube, do me a favour, you've listened to this for 15 minutes, do a subscribe, bell and like, that would be amazing. Thanks very much indeed. Take care guys, bye.